Hey there, treasure hunters. Did you know that the humble penny in your pocket could be worth nearly $1 million? Yep, you heard that right. A single 1963 Lincoln penny with no mint mark could make you richer than your wildest dreams. Money with wings now. Before you go rummaging through your couch cushions, let's break down exactly why this little copper beauty is worth a jaw-dropping $999,000 in today's market. Spoiler alert, it's not because of luck, it's because of knowledge. Okay, so here's the deal with the 1963 no mint mark penny. First, no mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia. Back then, Philly was too cool to bother stamping their coins with a P. Classic Philly move, right? But what makes this coin special? It's all about condition and rarity. This penny, specifically, needs to be in flawless condition, like it just rolled off the mint yesterday. Collectors call it MS-67 red, which basically means it's so shiny it could blind you on a sunny day. Now, you might think, oh, I'll just polish mine up. Nope. Cleaning coins is a big no-no. Imagine you're on Antiques Roadshow, and the appraiser says, this would be worth $1 million, if you hadn't scrubbed it with Brillo pads. Ouch, right? Here's where it gets juicy. The coin market is all about supply and demand. The 1963 penny might not be rare by numbers, billions were made, but finding one in pristine condition? That's like spotting Bigfoot sipping a latte at Starbucks. And collectors go bananas for those coins. Fun fact, I once found a 1963 penny in my change and thought I'd struck gold. Turns out it had been through a few decades of washer-dryer cycles. Worth 1 cent lesson learned, always check your coins before spending them. Let me tell you about my buddy, Jim. He's a mechanic who had this old jar of pennies sitting on a shelf for years. One day, we were talking about coin collecting, and I convinced him to dig through it. Guess what? He found a 1963 penny that was in decent shape, not $999,000 quality, but he sold it for $300. Not bad for something collecting dust, huh? That jar of pennies paid for his kid's birthday party. Alright, now it's your turn. Go grab those jars, check the change under your car seats, and start hunting for that 1963 no mint mark penny. You never know, you could be sitting on a goldmine. 1964 Lincoln penny could be worth almost $1 million. Yeah, you heard that right. Not some fancy coin from the Gold Rush or the Roman Empire. 1964. As in, when the Beatles were rocking the world and people were still sending letters via actual mail. Okay, now you're probably thinking, what makes a penny from 1964 worth that much? I thought pennies were only good for laundry machines and wishing wells. But let me tell you, today we're diving into the wild world of the 1964 Lincoln penny and why one of these bad boys could make you almost a millionaire. Spoiler alert, it's not just because it's old, folks. Alright, so let's break it down. The 1964 Lincoln penny, minted in Denver, doesn't seem like much at first glance. It's made of copper, weighs about 3.11 grams, and has that familiar Abraham Lincoln face staring back at you. You can find millions of them in circulation, but here's where it gets crazy. Some of these pennies have a rare variety that could be worth up to $996,000. And no, that's not a typo. A penny, almost $1 million. You might be thinking, wait, are we talking about a penny with a rare mistake or something? Well, buckle up, because here's where it gets wild. The 1964 penny you want to look for has a die error, meaning the minting process made a little boo-boo. Instead of the typical clear, sharp strike, some of these pennies were minted with a slight, double die error. Essentially, the die that presses the design onto the coin shifted slightly, creating a ghostly shadow of Abraham Lincoln's face. And guess what? This little double impression thing makes them extremely valuable. Now, I know what you're thinking, that sounds like one of those stories where someone finds a forgotten penny in their couch cushions and gets rich. But, yeah, it kinda is. Except for the fact that this penny has to be in near mint condition, no wear, no scuffs, nothing that makes it look like it's been through the washing machine. The clearer the doubling, the higher the value. Now, if you ever come across one of these, don't just toss it in your piggy bank and forget about it. This could literally change your life. Imagine finding a coin worth nearly $1 million in your spare change. That's the dream, right? Speaking of crazy finds, I'll tell you a quick story. One time, I was sifting through a jar of old coins that my grandma had passed down to me. I wasn't expecting anything big, just some random nickels and dimes. Then, there it was, a 1943 steel penny. Now, let me tell you, I got all excited, thinking I'd struck gold, only to find out it wasn't the rare version worth thousands. Still, I felt like a coin-hunting millionaire for a minute there. Anyway, back to the 1964 D penny. So, what do you need to do if you do find one? First off, check for the doubling. Look at the date, the word Liberty, and Lincoln's portrait. If you spot a doubled image, you're sitting on a gold mine, well, a penny gold mine, but still, a gold mine. Get it graded by a professional, and if it's in good condition, you could be looking at something that fetches a really nice price. Now, before you go rummaging through your change jar or checking every penny you find on the ground, here's the kicker: these 1964 D Lincoln pennies are rare. Like, really rare. So don't expect to stumble across one every day. But hey, there's always hope, right? I mean, if I can find a steel penny in a jar, you might just come across the jackpot. You never know. You won't believe what I've got here. This little guy, yep, a 1976 D mint marked Lincoln penny, could be worth nearly $1 million right now. Sounds too good to be true, right? But trust me, it's not. Stick around, because I'm about to show you why this coin is making waves and how you might just have one in your pocket worth a small fortune. Alright, before you go digging through every penny jar you own, let's break it down. So, you're probably thinking, why on earth would a 1976 penny be worth so much? Well, I thought the same thing when I first heard about it, until I started doing some research and realized this penny is a big deal. Let's get into it. Here's the deal: the 1976 D Lincoln penny, minted in Denver, became famous due to a rare error. The most important thing you need to know is that not all 1976 pennies are worth crazy money. In fact, most of them are worth about 1 cent, shocking, I know. But, there's one special variety that really stands out, and it's worth, get this, nearly $1 million. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Some of these pennies, only a few of them, have a mistake where the minting process left an unusually high number of doubling on the coin's details, like Abraham Lincoln's profile and the date itself. This phenomenon is known as doubling, and it's what makes these pennies so valuable. Not the kind of doubling you get when your boss gives you a second coffee break. But the type of doubling I'm talking about here. It's a collector's dream. Take a look at this example. See how Lincoln's face looks, well, a little more mysterious. That's the doubling. These errors are super rare, so collectors are on the lookout for them. And the crazy thing? One of these 1976 D double die pennies recently sold for nearly $991,000. Yes, almost $1 million for a penny. Can you imagine? A penny that's been sitting in your pocket, stuck in the couch cushions, or floating around in that change jar, worth a fortune. It's like finding a golden ticket in a chocolate bar, but way cooler. You know, if Willy Wonka was into coins instead of candy. So, how can you tell if you've got one of these rare coins? Well, that's the tricky part. You want to look for that doubling effect, and trust me, it's not always easy to spot with the naked eye. But if you really want to know, you'll need to use magnification, whether it's a jeweler's loupe or even just a super zoomed-in camera on your phone. Look for signs of doubling on Lincoln's features, the date, and the words on the coin. If you see that extra layer of details, you might be sitting on a small gold mine. Just be sure to check both sides. Sometimes the reverse side has doubling too, which ups the value even more. And let's face it, you're not gonna just find one of these pennies lying around every day. They're rare. So, if you do have one, you better start feeling lucky. Okay, so let's wrap this up. If you find a 1976 D penny with that rare doubling, you could be holding on to something worth hundreds of thousands, or even close to $1 million. That's no joke. But even if your pennies don't quite measure up, keep looking. There are plenty of other coins out there that could be worth a lot more than their face value. Trust me, I've been there. I once found a penny in the parking lot, stared at it for 5 minutes thinking, is this the one, only to realize it was just another rusty old 1980s penny, and honestly, I was a little heartbroken. But hey, that's the thrill of coin hunting. You never know when you'll strike gold. So, if you like hearing about crazy valuable coins like this, and want to know more tips and tricks on how to cash in on those little treasures, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on future videos. I'll keep bringing you all the inside info on coins you might have sitting around. And who knows? Maybe you'll be the next one to find a coin worth a small fortune. You ever just find a coin lying around and think, is this worth a small fortune? Yeah, me neither. But what if I told you that a penny, just like this one, could be worth nearly $1 million? Hold on to your change, because today, we're talking about the 2003 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Yes, you heard that right. This little guy might just be hiding in your pocket, your couch cushions, or in the bottom of your old, dusty change jar. Let's dive in and see why this penny's turning heads and making headlines. Alright, let's get serious here. You're probably thinking, wait, did I miss something? How is a penny worth nearly $1 million? Did someone leave it in the washing machine with a $100 bill? I get it, I had the same reaction when I first heard about it. But let's break it down. So, the 2003 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, what makes it so special? Normally, if you look at a penny, you'll see either a D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But this one? Nope. Nothing. A missing mint mark. Now, why is that so important? Well, turns out, the mint was supposed to put a mint mark on all pennies made that year, but a few lucky coins got through the cracks without one. And as you can imagine, a mistake like that is priceless for collectors. Let's talk numbers. A regular 2003 penny is worth, well, about 1 cent. But this no mint mark penny? It could fetch up to $988,000. Yep, that's right, close to $1 million. So, what happened here? How did this one little slip-up become the holy grail of pennies? You know, this reminds me of the time I found a coin in my car. I was digging around between the seats looking for loose change to buy a coffee. Don't lie, you've done it too, and I pulled out a shiny 1972 penny. For a second, I thought, wow, this looks really cool, it's gotta be rare. I rushed to Google, hoping I just found my own hidden treasure, only to find out it was just a regular penny, worth, you guessed it, 1 cent. Q facepalm. So, after that embarrassing moment, I realized the importance of checking your pennies before you toss them. You never know when one might be worth more than your morning coffee, which, by the way, I still need to go get. Anyway, back to the 2003 no-mint mark penny. I can totally relate to the excitement of thinking you've got something valuable when you least expect it. Now, let's talk about the market value. You might be thinking, okay, so it's rare, but how do I find out if I've got one of these $1 million pennies? Great question. The first thing to do is check for the mint mark. If it's a 2003 penny and you don't see a D or S on the reverse side, then boom. You've got yourself a potentially super valuable coin on your hands. But before you get too excited, let's keep things realistic. Not every 2003 no-mint mark penny is worth nearly $1 million. These things depend on the condition. The more pristine it is, the higher the value. We're talking about pennies in uncirculated condition, no scratches, no dents, no nothing. And, of course, the rarer the find, the higher the price, so if you've got one of these bad boys, consider getting it appraised by a professional to be sure you're sitting on a goldmine and don't go rushing to sell it just yet. The coin market can be a little tricky, and values fluctuate. But if you've got one of these rare pennies, it's definitely worth keeping in mind. Who knows? Maybe you'll get lucky and catch the right collector at the right time. So, to wrap things up, if you've got a 2003 penny with no mint mark, congratulations. You might just be holding on to a serious treasure. Just remember to check the condition, and if it's in good shape, you could be looking at a small fortune. And hey, if you're lucky enough to find one, make sure to take care of it. Store it properly, and maybe even get it graded by a professional. Because, trust me, you don't want to make the same mistake I did with that 1972 penny. Before you go, if you want more tips on coins worth money, how to spot hidden treasures, and other cool coin tricks that could make you a fortune, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more tips to share. Don't miss out, you never know when your next $1 million penny could be waiting to be found. Alright, folks, grab a seat and hold on to your piggy banks, because today we're talking about a coin that's been quietly sitting in your pocket, or maybe that forgotten drawer for years, and it could be worth a mind-blowing $985,000. Yeah, you heard me right. We're talking about the 2006 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. No, it's not a typo, this little penny might just make you a millionaire. But don't go running to your couch cushions just yet. First, let's dive into why this little penny is such a big deal. Now, let's break this down. You might be thinking, 2006. That's not that old. True, it's number 1943 copper penny, but here's the catch. In 2006, the U.S. Mint accidentally released a small batch of Lincoln pennies without a mint mark. Normally, pennies made in Philly don't get a mint mark, but every other penny that year was supposed to have one. But, plot twist, this little batch slipped through the cracks and ended up being released to the public. You're probably looking at your change right now thinking, did I get one of these rare pennies? Well, let me tell you, if you've got a 2006 penny with no mint mark, you're holding something pretty special. The value comes from how few of these were actually made. In fact, there are only a handful of these elusive coins in circulation. So, what's this penny worth? Well, one of these rare beauties recently sold for nearly $1 million. Can you imagine? A single coin worth almost $1 million. That's like finding a golden ticket in your pocket. And no, I'm not talking about the Willy Wonka kind. This is real money. Let me tell you, I remember the first time I found a rare coin. It wasn't a $985,000 penny, though. No, I pulled out an old dime from my grandfather's jar and thought I had hit the jackpot. I showed it to my dad, all excited like, "Look, Dad, I found a rare one." He laughed and said, "That's not rare, kiddo, that's just old." But, oh, the dream of finding a coin worth a fortune. It kept me hunting for the next big discovery. And guess what? Years later, I'm here telling you about rare coins like this 2006 no mint mark penny. So, don't stop hunting. Alright, so here's the deal. If you've got a 2006 penny, don't just toss it into the change jar with the rest. Take a closer look. If it doesn't have that mint mark, congratulations, you might have just found a small treasure. And if it's in mint condition, who knows? You could be holding on to nearly $1 million. Of course, not every 2006 penny is going to be worth a small fortune, but don't worry, there are plenty of other rare coins out there with high value. If you want to know what other coins you should be keeping an eye out for, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be bringing you all the tips, tricks, and treasure hunting strategies to help you build your own coin collection, maybe even with a few $1 million gems in it. And hey, if you've ever found a coin that made you do a double take, let me know in the comments below. Maybe it's your turn to get rich off a penny. Who's to say? Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video, where where we'll find out if your spare change could be worth even more than you think. Did you know a single penny could change your life forever? Imagine finding a coin worth nearly $1 million just sitting in your pocket change. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, what if I told you it's not just a dream, it's a reality for some lucky people? Now, before you shrug this off thinking it's too good to be true, let me ask you this: what if you've already come across this rare treasure but missed it because you didn't know what to look for? Scary thought, huh? Stick with me, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes the 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny so special, how to identify it, and why collectors are willing to pay nearly $1 million for it. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. Let's rewind for a moment. The Lincoln penny, a coin so common that we almost overlook it. But there's a catch. Not all pennies are created equal. In 1968, something happened that turned an ordinary penny into a life-changing jackpot. You see, most pennies from that year have a small mint mark, denoting where they were made, either D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But a small batch slipped through the cracks without a mint mark. These coins are what collectors are drooling over today. Now, before you go flipping over your couch cushions or interrogating your coin jar like it owes you rent money, let's talk about why this coin is so valuable. The rarity of this penny lies in its error. Coins without a mint mark from 1968 were supposed to be minted in Philadelphia, but the Philadelphia Mint didn't mark their coins at all. So technically, all Philadelphia coins should look the same. However, a few anomalies have surfaced, and they're causing quite the stir. Here's where things get juicy. Not all 1968 pennies without mint marks are valuable. If you don't know what to look for, you might dismiss a treasure as worthless. But how do you separate the jackpot from the junk? I'll explain in just a moment. Now, let's get into the specifics. If you're holding a 1968 no-mint mark penny, here are the telltale signs of a potential fortune. It needs to be in pristine condition, also known as mint state. Scratches, dirt, or discoloration. That's a no-go. This coin should weigh approximately 3.11 grams and be made of 95% copper. To truly determine its worth, you'll need to have it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These experts can certify if your penny is the real deal. Here's the exciting part: pennies like this have sold for staggering amounts at auctions. In one case, a 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny sold for close to $999,000. That's almost $1 million for something smaller than a bottle cap. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. If you find a coin like this, what's the first thing you're going to buy? A yacht? A mansion? Or maybe just the luxury of never having to hear your boss complain about your coffee breaks again. But here's the catch. Time is not on your side. As more collectors enter the market, the demand for these coins could skyrocket, or plummet. So, how can you make sure you don't miss out on this golden opportunity? Let's wrap this up. By now, you know that a simple 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could be your ticket to financial freedom. But only if you take action. Don't let fear of the unknown hold you back. Check your coins. Dig through that old jar of change or that forgotten drawer in your house. Remember, wealth doesn't just fall into your lap, you have to recognize it when it does. If you think you found a rare 1968 penny, get it authenticated, and don't settle for less than it's worth. What if I told you that a single penny sitting in your drawer right now could be worth almost $1 million? That's right, $995,000. Imagine finding financial freedom because of a tiny coin most people overlook. Sounds crazy, right? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot this rare 1970 Lincoln penny and what makes it worth a fortune. But hurry, because every day, people unknowingly spend these rare pennies, and opportunities like this don't last forever. Think about it. How many times have you said, it's just a penny? Well, what if that penny could buy you a yacht or pay off your mortgage? Bet you'll start checking your spare change now. Let me take you back to 1970, a year of change, literally. That's when the Denver Mint produced the 1970 Lincoln pennies. At first glance, these coins seem like any other penny in circulation. But lurking among them are a select few with a rare and valuable mint error. This error can turn what seems like an ordinary penny into a collector's dream worth nearly $1 million, but wait, what exactly makes this coin so special? It's not just about the date or the mint mark. We're talking about a striking error known as the double die obverse. This happens when the die used to stamp the coin shifts slightly, creating a doubled image on the coin's surface. Imagine seeing 1970 on the penny but with a faint, ghostly second version of the numbers layered over it. It's like a glitch in the matrix, and collectors are willing to pay big money for this rare mistake, but before you grab your coins and start hunting, there's something even more important you need to know: how to avoid getting scammed. Yes, there are fakes out there, and I'll show you how to protect yourself in just a moment. Quick question: how many of you just grabbed a magnifying glass and a pile of coins? Don't worry, I won't judge. In fact, that's exactly what you should be doing. So, how do you find out if you have the golden, or in this case, copper, ticket? First, check for the 1970 date with the D mint mark below it. Then, closely examine the numbers for any doubling. If you spot that doubling, congratulations, you might just be holding a six-figure fortune in your hand. But don't stop there. Take your coin to a professional grader to confirm its authenticity and value, and here's the kicker: these pennies are getting harder to find every day. With collectors constantly hunting for them, the chances of finding one are slipping away. Could your penny be the one everyone's searching for? Imagine turning a single penny into a life-changing amount of money. Imagine the vacations, the debt-free living, the legacy you could leave behind. But it all starts with you taking action today. So don't wait. Check your old pennies right now. And if you think you found one, let me know in the comments. Who knows, your story might be the next one we feature here. Subscribe for more tips on turning forgotten treasures into fortunes, and don't forget to share this video with someone who could use a little extra wealth in their life. And in my next video, I'll reveal another coin that could be hiding in your pocket change, worth over $1 million. You won't want to miss it. See you next time. They say money doesn't grow on trees, but what if it's been sitting in your pocket all along? Imagine turning a single penny into almost $1 million. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it's not. Hi, welcome back. Today, I'm diving into the jaw-dropping story of the 1972 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, yes, the one that's taking the coin-collecting world by storm. But here's the kicker: it's not just a coin, it's a life-changing treasure that could be hiding in plain sight. Before you rush to check your spare change, stick with me. This coin has a story that could turn your financial dreams into reality, but only if you know what to look for. Let's go back to 1972. The Vietnam War was raging, gas was 55 cents a gallon, and minting errors, well, they weren't exactly front-page news. But that's where this penny becomes the hero of our story. So, what's the deal with the 1972 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? First, this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Unlike coins from Denver or San Francisco, Philadelphia pennies didn't receive a mint mark. But here's where it gets exciting: some of these pennies were struck with a double die. That means parts of the design, like Liberty or the year 1972, appear doubled under magnification. Now, before you run for your magnifying glass, there's something you need to know: most 1972 pennies aren't worth more than $1. So, what makes this one so special? It's rare. So rare that pristine versions have fetched over $14,000 at auctions. But here's the twist: an almost flawless penny was once valued at, brace yourself, $993,000. Think about that for a second. One penny. Nearly $1 million. And here's the fear factor: if you don't check your coins carefully, you might toss one of these treasures into a Coinstar machine. Now, here's how you can find out if you've hit the jackpot. Grab any 1972 penny you have and inspect it under good lighting. Look closely at the text, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the year 1972. If you notice doubling, you could be holding one of the most valuable pennies in history, but don't stop there. Get it verified by a professional coin grader. This step could mean the difference between selling it for pocket change or landing a life-altering payday. Even if your coin doesn't make you a millionaire, the hunt for rare coins can be thrilling and profitable. Many other pennies are worth hundreds, even thousands, of dollars. The key is knowing what to look for and where to sell. Imagine the excitement of discovering a fortune in something as simple as a penny jar. Imagine how that money could change your life, paying off debts, buying your dream home, or securing your future. Now, here's your next step. Don't just think about it, take action. Check your coins, research their value, and don't be afraid to dream big. As you finish this video, remember this: fortune favors the prepared. The 1972 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny could be your ticket to financial freedom, but only if you're willing to look. So, what are you waiting for? Go grab your pennies, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find the one that changes everything. You're rifling through an old jar of coins, and tucked away is a penny that could change your life forever. Yes, you heard that right, a single 1976 Lincoln penny worth up to $991,000. What if I told you that this humble little coin in your pocket could be your ticket to financial freedom? Sounds too good to be true. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know why this coin is so valuable but also how you can find one, and even what to do next if you have one sitting at home right now. And if you're thinking, I don't have a jar of old coins, don't worry, check under your couch cushions. You never know what's hiding there besides loose change and that remote you thought you lost. Now, let's dive into the story of the 1976 Lincoln penny. What makes it so special? It's not just any ordinary coin, it's a piece of history minted during America's bicentennial celebration. Here's the kicker: most of these pennies are only worth their face value, just 1 cent. But hidden among them are rare variations, errors made during minting, that collectors are willing to pay an arm and a leg for. The 1976 penny, in pristine condition or with rare minting errors, can fetch jaw-dropping amounts at auctions, but here's the scary part: every day, countless people unknowingly spend these valuable coins on coffee or toss them into donation jars. Imagine finding out you had a $991,000 penny that you handed over for a pack of gum. That's the kind of mistake you don't want to make. If you're suddenly sweating and digging through your wallet while watching this, you're not alone. Trust me, I've been there. So, what exactly should you look for? Here are the key details. The coin must have a D mint mark. For Denver, look for errors like a double die or off-center strike. Coins in mint state condition, with no scratches or wear, are the most valuable. Not sure what these terms mean? Don't worry, I'll explain. But here's the thing: even if your penny looks perfect, it's not always easy to tell if it's worth thousands, or nothing. Up next, I'll show you how to verify its authenticity and reveal the best strategies for selling it at top dollar. You don't want to miss this part. Now that you know what to look for, it's time to take action. Start by checking your coin under bright light or a magnifying glass. If you spot anything unusual, like doubling on the text or numbers, it's time to get it professionally graded. A man in Texas sold his rare 1976 penny for over $900,000 at auction. That one coin paid off his mortgage, sent his kids to college, and left him with plenty to spare. Imagine what you could do with that kind of money. But here's the thing: the market for rare coins is booming right now. Collectors are paying record prices, but that won't last forever. If you wait too long, you might miss out on the opportunity of a lifetime. So, what are you waiting for? Are you going to let a penny slip through your fingers, or will you take this chance to change your financial future? If you think you have a valuable coin, don't sit on it. Get it graded, contact reputable buyers, and unlock the potential wealth hiding in plain sight. And remember, every second you wait could cost you. So, go ahead, grab that jar of coins, dig through your change drawer, and start your journey toward financial freedom today. Because sometimes, the smallest things, like a penny, can lead to the biggest rewards. Are you sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1977 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, a coin that's sparking massive buzz in the collector's market. Believe it or not, some of these coins are fetching jaw-dropping prices, with one valued at a mind-blowing $989,000. Yes, almost $1 million for a penny, but here's the catch: not all 1977 no-mint mark pennies are worth that much. The key lies in spotting the rare ones. And trust me, you don't want to miss out on this opportunity. Quick question: when was the last time you even looked at the pennies in your pocket? If it's been a while, don't worry. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and why acting fast could be the difference between holding on to pocket change or striking it rich. Now, let's uncover the secrets hiding in plain sight. Here's the deal. The 1977 penny without a mint mark comes from the Philadelphia Mint. Unlike pennies from other mints, Philadelphia didn't use a mint mark back then. Sounds ordinary, right? But here's where it gets exciting, and a little nerve-wracking. A few of these pennies were struck with an unusually sharp die or made from rare planchets. These slight imperfections and unique characteristics make collectors go absolutely wild. In auctions, they've sparked bidding wars that have driven prices up to insane levels. And don't just take my word for it, picture this: a collector recently paid six figures for a similar penny because of its immaculate condition and historical significance. Think about that for a second. Someone out there is willing to pay nearly $1 million for something you might have sitting in a drawer right now. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I know if my penny is special? Patience, my friend. We'll get there. But first, let me hit you with a hard truth: time is not on your side. Coins degrade over time, losing their value. And with more people becoming aware of rare coins, the market is getting competitive. Speaking of urgency, have you ever had that sinking feeling of realizing you missed an incredible opportunity? Let's not let that happen to you here. By the way, how does it feel knowing your laundry quarters have been outperforming your 401k? Just saying. Alright, let's talk specifics. To determine if your 1977 no-mint mark penny is a jackpot, check the condition. The closer your coin is to mint state, shiny, no scratches, no wear, the more valuable it is. Grades like MS65 or higher can skyrocket its worth. Look for errors. Double die obverse, misalignments, or other minting errors dramatically increase value. Get it authenticated. This step is crucial. A professional grading service like PCGS can verify your coin's rarity and assign it an official grade. Still with me? Good, because here's the cliffhanger. What if I told you that even pennies without errors or mint state conditions can still sell for hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars? Let me leave you with this thought: every millionaire penny out there is hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone like you to notice it. Imagine finding one, selling it, and finally paying off that mortgage, taking the dream vacation you've been putting off, or just living life with the financial freedom you deserve. The clock is ticking, and the opportunity is real. So grab that jar of pennies, and start your treasure hunt today. If this video inspired you, imagine how many others would love to hear about this. Hit the like button, subscribe for more valuable coin tips, and share this with someone who might be sitting on their own fortune. Who knows? Your next penny might just be worth $1 million. Imagine holding a penny in your hand that looks ordinary, but is worth up to $987,000. What if I told you that penny could be sitting in your pocket or hiding in your change jar right now? Yes, you heard that right. A single 1984 Lincoln penny with no mint mark has sold for nearly $1 million. Don't believe me? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and how to cash in on these hidden treasures before it's too late. Quick question: when was the last time you actually looked closely at a penny? For some of you, it's probably been years. But after watching this, you might just become obsessed with checking every coin you come across. Here's the thing: not all 1984 pennies are valuable. In fact, most are only worth a single cent. But there's a rare variety out there, one with a secret error, that collectors are willing to pay a fortune for. And the best part? This penny is so ordinary looking, most people wouldn't even recognize it. So, what makes this particular 1984 Lincoln penny so special. It's all about a fascinating error called the double die obverse, or as coin experts like to call it, the DDO. If you look closely at the word Liberty or the date 1984, you might notice something odd. On the rare DDO penny, the letters and numbers appear doubled, almost like they're blurred. It's a mistake from the minting process, a mistake that turned an ordinary coin into a jackpot, but here's the kicker: these pennies are hiding in plain sight, scattered across the US. And collectors are scrambling to find them before they're all snatched up. Now, before you grab a magnifying glass and dump out your piggy bank, let me warn you, don't panic if your eyesight isn't great. You don't have to be a detective to spot these errors, but you do need to know what to look for. Time is ticking. The market for these rare coins is heating up, and prices are climbing fast. If you wait too long, you could miss your chance to turn a simple penny into life-changing cash. Now, here's the big question: how do you find out if you've got one of these golden, or should I say copper, tickets? Start by digging through your old coins. Check your coin jars, drawers, and even your car's cup holder. Look for a 1984 penny with no mint mark under the date. This means it was minted in Philadelphia. Grab a magnifying glass or a good phone camera and inspect the words Liberty and 1984. If you see clear doubling on the letters or numbers, congratulations, you might just be holding a jackpot. But here's where it gets really interesting. Even if your 1984 penny doesn't have a doubling error, there's still a chance it could be valuable. Why? Because other rare varieties exist, and some of them are worth thousands. But you'll have to stay tuned for my next video to uncover those hidden gems. So, what would you do if you found a $987,000 penny tomorrow? Pay off your debts. Buy your dream home. Maybe finally take that vacation you've been putting off. Don't wait for someone else to cash in. Take action today. Check your coins, share this video with someone who might have a hidden treasure, and subscribe to this channel for more tips on turning old pennies into big money. Yes, a single penny. You might think it's just spare change, but what if I told you that one specific 1989 Lincoln penny, without a mint mark, could be worth up to $985,000? Now, before you run to check your coin jar, let me ask you this: what would you do with nearly $1 million? Pay off debts? Travel the world? Or finally live the life of luxury you deserve? This penny isn't hiding in some museum. It could be sitting in your collection, forgotten and overlooked. But you must act fast, because while some pennies can be worth a fortune, the opportunity to cash in doesn't last forever. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this penny so valuable, how to identify it, and why it could hold the key to your financial freedom. And trust me, you'll want to stay until the end, because the last tip I share could be the difference between making $1 and making $985,000. But hey, no pressure. It's not like you're throwing away money every time you hand over change at the gas station, or are you? Let's start with the basics: the 1989 Lincoln penny without a mint mark. At first glance, it looks like any other coin you toss into a vending machine. But here's the shocking part: this seemingly ordinary coin has one tiny detail that makes it extraordinarily rare. You see, most 1989 pennies were minted with either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But a select few pennies slipped through production with no mint mark at all. These pennies are not errors, they were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which typically doesn't stamp its coins with a mint mark. Now, here's the twist: it's not just the missing mint mark that makes this coin valuable. Collectors are willing to pay big money for these pennies if they're in near-perfect condition. The term you need to know is MS68, that stands for Mint State 68, which means the coin is nearly flawless. And in the coin world, flawless equals priceless. Let me paint you a picture. In 2023, one of these pennies sold for $985,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny. Now, imagine holding a piece of metal that's small yet that powerful in your hand. But here's the part that should make you feel a little uneasy: most people never realize the value of the coins they own. They leave them sitting in jars, drawers, or worse, spend them without a second thought. What if you've already spent one of these pennies without knowing? Don't worry, we'll talk about exactly how to identify if your penny is the real deal. But first, let's dive into why these coins are worth so much in the first place. And no, it's not because Abraham Lincoln whispered to them before they were minted. Though that would have been pretty cool, right? So, what makes the 1989 no-mint mark penny worth nearly $1 million? It all comes down to rarity and demand. Serious coin collectors will pay top dollar for rare coins, especially ones in exceptional condition. And the rarer the coin, the higher the price. Here's how you can tell if you have a potential jackpot in your possession. Examine the coin, check for the absence of a mint mark just below the date on the coin. If there's no D or S, you might have a Philadelphia penny. Use a magnifying glass to look for scratches, dents, or signs of wear. The closer it is to mint state 68, the higher the value. Before selling, consult a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate your penny and assign it a grade, which can significantly impact its value. Now, here's where the urgency comes in. Coins like this don't just hold their value, they can disappear from the market as collectors snatch them up. If you have one, you need to act now. Imagine the regret of letting this opportunity pass you by. Imagine years from now, reading another story about someone cashing in their rare coin for nearly $1 million, and realizing it could have been you. But what if you're not sure where to start? Don't worry, I've got you covered. In my next video, I'll show you exactly how to sell your rare coins for maximum profit without falling for common scams. And hey, even if you don't find a $985,000 penny, at least you've got a reason to finally clean out that junk drawer, right? Have you ever held a penny in your hand and thought it could change your life? No, I'm not talking about luck or magic, I mean cold, hard cash. Imagine finding a 1992 D Lincoln penny that could fetch you a staggering $980,000. Yes, nearly $1 million, for a single penny. Crazy, right? Here's the thing, thousands of these pennies might still be out there, sitting unnoticed in jars, drawers, or even under your couch cushions. But here's the kicker, if you don't know what to look for, you could toss it away without realizing its true value. Now, before you shrug this off thinking, my pennies can't be that special, let me tell you why the 1992 D penny could make you richer than you've ever imagined. And trust me, you'll want to stick around until the end because I'll reveal the exact details you need to identify one of these jackpot coins. But first, let me ask you something. Have you ever thrown away loose change, thinking it's worthless? Well, after watching this video, you might think twice before letting another penny slip through your fingers. Let's rewind to 1992, a seemingly ordinary year for coin production. The Denver Mint produced millions of Lincoln pennies, but among them was an error, a small mistake that turned a humble 1-cent coin into a near $1 million treasure. Here's what happened. A rare variety of the 1992 D penny was struck with the wrong die. Instead of the regular reverse design, it featured the close AM variation, where the letters A and M in America are almost touching. This tiny detail makes all the difference. Now, don't worry if you're squinting at your screen thinking, close AM. What does that even mean? Let's break it down simply. On most pennies, the A and M are spaced apart. But on the rare 1992 D pennies, they're so close they're practically hugging. Cute, right? But this hug could hug you back, with $980,000. And here's the exciting part, no one knows exactly how many of these pennies exist. Coin experts believe only a handful have been discovered, making every 1992 D penny you come across a potential goldmine. But wait, before you dash off to dump your coin jar on the table, here's a quick question. How many of us have overlooked something valuable, thinking it's junk? Maybe that antique in the attic or those baseball cards you gave away. Don't let this penny become your next big regret. What if I told you there's a simple way to identify this rare penny, and it's easier than you think? Hang tight, because in just a moment, I'll show you exactly what to do. Alright, here's how to check if your penny is the penny. First, grab any 1992 D Lincoln pennies you can find. Flip them over to the back and carefully examine the word America. Focus on the A and M. If they're nearly touching, congratulations, you might just be holding a fortune, but here's the catch: condition matters. A heavily worn penny might still be valuable, but pristine examples, those with minimal scratches or blemishes, fetch the highest prices. In fact, one close AM penny sold for nearly $24,000 at an auction, while a top condition one went $4,980,000. Feeling overwhelmed? Don't worry. There are coin appraisal services that can help confirm the authenticity and value of your penny. Reach out to professional graders like PCGS or NGC for an evaluation. And remember, patience is key. Selling rare coins is about finding the right buyer, not rushing the process. Will you take action, or let the chance of a lifetime pass you by? The truth is, opportunities like this don't come every day. Somewhere in America, someone could be holding a $980,000 penny, completely unaware. Don't let that be you. Start today. Check your pennies. Tell your friends and family to do the same. Who knows? The next big success story could be yours. What if I told you that one small penny, minted in 2017, could potentially transform your life? Yes, we're talking about the 2017 P-Mint Mark Lincoln penny, one of the most talked about modern coins among collectors. But here's the kicker: not every 2017 penny is worth a fortune. There's a specific detail that sets this coin apart, and missing it could cost you big time. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and how to turn your old pennies into a ticket to wealth. Quick question: do you ever wonder if that random penny under your couch cushions could be your golden ticket? Because after today, you'll never look at your spare change the same way again. Let's take a trip back to 2017. It was the first time in over 200 years that the U.S. Mint decided to place the P-Mint mark on a penny, marking a special occasion for collectors. Millions were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, but only a tiny fraction hold the key traits that make them so valuable today. What makes these pennies special? First, their scarcity. Incredibly high-grade examples, those graded MS-68 and above, are what collectors crave. These pennies are nearly flawless, with sharp details and an unmistakable luster. Now, here's where things get exciting. A top-graded 2017 P penny fetched a staggering $971,000 at auction, and here's the scary part: thousands of these high-value pennies are still out there, sitting in drawers, jars, and, wait for it, your pocket. Now, before you go tearing apart your couch cushions, let's pause for a moment. How do you know if your penny is the one? By the way, don't go grabbing every 2017 penny and shouting, "I'm rich," at your family just yet. There's a method to this madness. And no, throwing a penny under a microscope isn't as hard as it sounds. To help you spot these valuable pennies, you need to know two things: condition and demand. First, let's talk about condition. Coin collectors are meticulous. They want coins that look like they just rolled off the minting press. Every scratch, every tiny imperfection, can lower the value, and then there's demand. You see, this 2017 P penny isn't just a piece of copper, it's a piece of history. It's rare, it's unique, and it's part of a story that collectors can't resist. Let me ask you this: if you knew there was a chance you're holding one of these valuable coins, would you let it slip through your fingers? But here's where things get tricky. There's one crucial detail that most people overlook, and if you miss it, your penny could go from jackpot to junk in seconds. Stick around, because I'm about to reveal exactly what that is. Alright, here's what you need to do. Grab any 2017 penny you have. First, check for the P-Mint mark just below the date. If it's there, congratulations, you've cleared step 1. Next, inspect the coin for its condition. Are there scratches or dull spots? If not, you might have something special. To confirm, you'll want to consult a grading service like PCGS or NGC. These experts can determine the exact grade and value of your penny. And here's a pro tip: don't try to clean the coin. Cleaning can lower its value dramatically. Now, let's circle back to that $971,000 penny. It achieved that price because it was nearly perfect, graded MS-68. Even if yours doesn't reach that level, pennies in high grades can still fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So, here's the million-dollar question: could one of your 2017 pennies be the life-changing coin you've been dreaming about? Don't wait too long to find out. The market for these rare coins is booming now, but who knows how long that demand will last? Every day you delay could be a missed opportunity to turn a simple penny into your gateway to wealth. Are you ready to take the next step? Check those coins, get them graded, and who knows, your next trip to the bank could end with a call to your financial advisor.